Welcome back to the show this morning. It's 6:34. So we talk a lot about, generational differences, and we were just talking a little bit about the national debt, and of course, the bigger problem, which is the unfunded liabilities of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And of course, this is the one big problem that we have, is that nobody is willing to give up their benefits, right? Because I've been paying into them for 30 years. I'm getting ready to retire. Why are you going to take the benefits from me? I get it. This is why it's been an unelectable, situation. If you're running for office and if your platform is I'm going to reform Social Security, you're not getting elected. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And, it's always interesting because when you do propose an idea about reforming Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera, the general consensus is, that's fine, you can fix it as long as you don't mess with my benefits, right? So, and it's kind of the same thing with taxes. We talk about this idea of paying your fair share and people, wanting to be, have higher taxes on the rich, and it's kind of this idea is that, I'm a very generous person personally, and I believe that everyone should pay their fair share as long as it's not me, right? And this is the idea, right? Let's tax everybody else, just don't tax me. Don't raise my taxes, just tax everybody else. Well, of course, the system doesn't work that way. And that old story about the guys that are having breakfast every day and they're splitting up the bill the way that we pay taxes, and of course, the people at the bottom don't pay anything. The guy at the top is paying the majority of the bills. So they decided they want to shift more of the burden to the guy at the top of the ladder. He quit showing up for breakfast, right? So that's that whole idea. And that's the way it works. We keep shifting the burden up the ladder to the wealthy because, we don't like the wealthy, right? They have everything. We don't have anything. So they should pay more. But the problem is, and we've shown this data repeatedly, through our blog posts on our website at realinvestmentadvice.com. If you go to the website and Google taxes, on our website, there's a search bar. We just put in the word taxes, and we've got tons of articles about this. The top 90% of income-generating Americans pay almost all the taxes. So exactly what is the fair share when we're talking about this? If everybody's supposed to be paying into the system, then what exactly is the fair share? Because the bottom 50% of Americans pay virtually no taxes. So the issue when you talk about this, and this is a changing dynamic that is occurring. So baby boomers are, hey, don't take away my stuff. We talk a lot about millennials. They have a very different attitude about things. And then we have Gen Z that's coming up. So Generation Z are individuals that they're my kids, right? They were born post-2000. They were born 1997 to the 2010s. They make up right now about 26% of the entire U.S. population. It's a pretty big generation, Gen Z. They make up a quarter of the population. Now, baby boomers, as a function, only 28% of baby boomers identify as non-white. Gen X, which is the group right behind baby boomers, 40% of them, so 28 to 40%, identify as non-white. 44% of millennials identify as non-white, and almost 50% of Generation Z identifies as non-white. Now, that has nothing to do with anything. It just kind of gives you an idea of the shift in the population over 4 generations of the makeup of the population. But it has other impacts regarding attitude, regarding cultural mores, etc. But here's some of the interesting statistics about Generation Z in relation to what they expect from the world that they're coming up in. And remember, these are my kids, right? So I'm 50. I'll be 54 in May. I've got 4 kids, all in this bracket. And so when I'm reading this study, I'm going, yep. Now, all 4 of my kids identify as white, by the way. Just saying. they fall in the other 50%. Unfortunately, they're about as white as a loaf of Wonder Bread. So I don't want any confusion here. So
Pass the saltines.
Exactly. 98% of Gen Zers own a smartphone. 92% have a digital footprint of some sort. 50% are connected online for at least 10 hours a day. 70% watch more than 2 hours of YouTube every day. Now, I can tell you that's a fact. I don't understand it. We just sold our house. We're getting ready to move, and we're living in an apartment right now, and we're trying to get ready to move into our new house. But we have TVs through the house, right? In our old house, we had this media room, right? So they could go in and watch movies on a big screen. I thought this was going to be a genius idea. Boy, was I wrong. My kids will lock themselves up in their bedroom and they watch everything on their phone. It's like, dude, we have a couch and a kitchen, television, but no, they watch YouTube on their phone. I don't get it.
You remember when we were growing up and our parents would tell us, if you get too close to the TV, you're going to ruin your eyes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, all my kids are nearsighted.
Well, if you 3-inch screen your entire life, you're going to go blind.
Exactly. Probably. There was that commercial just a minute ago on the break talking about Mr. Antenna. They'll come out and install an antenna, and you get, and it's true because of regulation changes that occurred with the airwaves. Mm-hmm. You can now put up an antenna, you get digital television through an antenna. And every time I hear this commercial, I kind of chuckle to myself because I just remember my dad. We had this 19-inch my whole life growing up, right?
Yeah.
We had this 19-inch black and white, televisions, like a big giant refrigerator.
Exactly.
But it was 19-inch. Had the rabbit ear antennas, mm-hmm. and had the foil on them.
Yep.
And then for some reason, my dad would always go figgle with the antenna to try to get the picture to get better. And then if that didn't work, he just beat the television. I didn't.
Percussive maintenance.
Yeah. He figured if he just whacked the top of the television enough, the picture would magically show up. And after I left, right when I left for college, and my whole life growing up too, we had this Lawn Boy push lawnmower. It was the one you had to mix the gas and the oil together.
Oh, a 2-cycle.
Yeah, it was a 2-cycle engine. Manual push, mm-hmm. and that was the thing. We had this massive backyard. Our backyard was like 2 lots, so it was huge.
We could have baled hay with that thing.
Well, we could have. We actually had entire baseball games in my backyard. It was so big. But so my whole life growing up, we had this push lawnmower, and we had this black and white television with the knob that would fall off all the time. And it only had the 211, 13, 26, 39 UHF dial. That was it.
It's a wonder you turned out.
Imagine. Yeah. And as soon as I left for college, you got a color television and a riding lawnmower.
And cable.
It's like, bastard. My whole life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 40% say they're addicted to their phones. And as we talked about just the other day, their favorite form of medium now is no longer writing or even texting. It's now sending pictures. So as we talked about the other day on the show, the millennials that are coming up now and the Generation Zers are moving back towards hieroglyphics, apparently, as a form of communication.
So kindergartners will soon be being taught the Emoji-bet.
Yes.
Not the alphabet, the Emoji-bet.
So talk about emojis. The on those emojis, there's the one that's the poop icon.
The brown one.
The brown one?
Yeah.
And, well, it's actually, and if you have your phone read it, it actually reads it as poop. So my son's phone name in his sister's phone is Tommy with 4 of the poop emojis after it. So when she picks up her phone and she puts her brother's, the phone will read it out. Calling Tommy poop 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 poop. It's absolutely hysterical. Anyway,
I wonder where she got that idea.
I have no idea. There's no sense of humor in my house at all. Anyway, all right, quick break. We'll come back, wrap up our conversation. Got a lot of stuff to get into. Actually, I've avoided getting into some of the bigger stuff. We'll do that when we come back from the break. Don't go away.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet. Sign up for Lance's newsletter now at lancerobertshow.com.